This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Hi and welcome to the Family Hour here at Church of Uganda Family TV. It is a very good evening and thank you very much for joining in. My name is Clare Bwenje, the world's favorite host. Thank you and thank you very, very much for joining in. And guess what? Today is my birthday. So I'm very happy and very excited for this far that the Lord has brought me. And definitely, I will not answer the question of how old are you now. Anyways, this is the Family Hour. We are here under the theme of parenting. Do not forget that this show is in partnership with Life Ministry Uganda. I know the faces that I have right here are not new faces to us. They have been here before, and due to public demand, that's why they are back. We are having a very great topic, and that is unlocking your child's potential, identifying and nurturing your child's gift. Join me welcome this great couple, Mr. Arthur Ayorekire, together with his dear wife, Crisper Ayorekire, a namesake to my sister, so that's why I love her so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me welcome them to say hello to you, and then after we will dig into our topic this evening. Welcome.
Ladies first.
Ladies first, I like that.
Okay.
Hi, Crisper.
Crisper Ayorekire is my name. Married to one Ayorekire, Arthur, and he's right here with me.
Wow.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Arthur Ayorekire is my name. I am so delighted to be here. My wife Crisper is here, and we are so glad and delighted to be here. It is a good day, especially on Claire's birthday.
You could actually sing for me.
Wow, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow.
Yes. Very happy to have you on the show once again, and really it gives me joy now that we are talking about really unlocking our children's potential, identifying and nurturing their gifts and talents. And maybe, I don't know which side I should start from. Maybe you can first share your personal experience before we even talk about our children. How did you really, how were you able to identify your talent, your gift? Was it by the help of your parents, or how did you really know that this is my talent? You can even share, this is my talent, this is my gift, so that we can connect properly.
Thank you. Those are not easy dots to connect, but one, I am a son to the clergy. My father is a retired Reverend Canon Philemon Tinka from Kazo, that is North Ankole Diocese. And I was born at church, and most of the things that I got to know as a child, they were informed by my environment, because I was always almost all the time at church, and every day I stumbled on something new at church, in cleaning the pews, in drumming, in singing in the choir, in collecting things around the church.
Wow.
I stumbled on some of my giftings, and I think the environment that I was in helped me to steward who I am now. I might say that when I was growing up, I have difficulty in speech, but the environment helped me bring that out, because I interacted with people almost all the time. And so that helped me to learn ways on how I can overcome some of those roadblocks as I was growing up. And people have come to tell me that I am a great encourager. I also am able to see people and identify their potentials and help to steward them to their great potential. My vision as a person is to help people to discover, develop, and thrive in their God-ordained purposes. And so one of the things that I do is to deal with human beings, look at them, identify them, see who they are, even when they are not seeing it, then help them walk that journey.
Exactly.
And I'm doing that in almost all the spaces that I'm involved in. I profile, I just look at a person, I am able to say that person, they are an introvert. I look at them, I see how they interact with the environment, I'm able to tell who they are. So my head is just wired to profile. I profile a lot, every space I am at. And so my environment, I would say, helped me to steward that I am even up to now.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I was able to know. And my parents, of course, played a very great role in trying to show me baby steps towards where I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much, and of course thanks to Reverend who really helped you in that.
Yes.
Crisper.
Oh, thank you very much, my dear husband. I think I identify so much with him, but personally identifying my gifts and talents, when I look back, I think it was the environment. I discovered much of what I am and much of my gifts when I kept growing up through the people, because they would tell me, you're good at this, but at that time I didn't know exactly what I was good at, and I was not very sure of my gifts. But from other people I was able to get to know what I am good at. But I can say that environment played a big role and helped me to have these other good gifts. One of them is service. Through childhood, being a child of reverence, we used to have people who would come for tea at home all the time. So somehow you were forced to,
I like
serve.
that.
You end up serving even if it was not part of you. So I learned, I learned how to serve, and somewhat it became so natural with me that I don't force that. Even if you just come home anytime, I find it so easy to serve whichever person that comes my way. So I think that is a great gift that I got, and which I'm still nurturing, and which I'm also passing on to our children. But I got it from the environment from which I grew from. Yeah.
Wow, I like that. So how did actually your parents really support you in that? How were they pushing you in that?
In service? That is now so interesting. Mainly our mom would always check in the flasks on the table. Tea was always there all the time, and all time was tea time. Whether it's lunch time, we finished eating food, there must be tea. So she would always come and check in those flasks. If there would be like maybe just 1 cup or 2 cups, please, friends, there is not in the flask. So you run to the kitchen to prepare tea and make sure there is tea. Then the time we went to Mulago, I think Mulago was too much for us, because even the Christians themselves would come for tea. And you had to give them tea at whatever cost, and you do the cleanup without even complaining, because we are there to serve other people, not always to be served.
Wow, I love that, Crisper, and that's where my other question was coming. As a child, were you enjoying doing that? Or you felt like, by the way, mommy is being tough on me, is pushing me, and really, I don't know.
It's like she was too tough. It was becoming too much. Yeah, I think I later appreciated it when I grew older and when I got married to my husband, and then he also gets into ministry. So that's when I started appreciating it. But back then it was too much. And I'd promised I will never get married to a minister. Because of the way she was doing her things, like I will never get married to a minister. And I asked him, are you about to get to be a reverend? Because I was seeing that coming. And then he asked me why. I was like, I am seeing that coming, and I'm not about to go through the same, because I had not liked it. I didn't like it. But when I look back, I think I appreciate it so much. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Now, really, you are parents right now. You have children, and you are also at that stage when you were being parented. How are you able really to nurture your children's talents and all that, but you're also able to make them comfortable, not feel like daddy's putting me on pressure, mommy's putting me on pressure? How are you walking a journey with them, a journey of understanding, actually, daddy is really helping me to nurture this, helping me to take this direction and stuff like that?
I think I can go first. In that area, it starts with identifying it in a child. There are things that naturally come with every human being, and you can identify it in a child if you're so close to them and if you're intentional. With us, all our children are not the same. There is one whom we see has an interest of like serving, being with people. So because that child has an interest of being with people, it means they can do best with people. And when it comes to like service, because you already see that he is able to do it with ease without forcing, then you try to help them come closer in doing that work which they love most. So you create an environment where they are able to serve and thrive in that gift that you've already seen. That's how we're trying to nurture it. Then the other one we know that is not so good at that, we have identified where they can be best, and then you throw them in that environment and you support that child. And for this other child who is not doing so well in that area still, we keep encouraging, we keep appreciating, we do not discourage them even when they are attempting to do a certain thing, because we want to nurture that and to help them not look at it as a punishment or being so tough on them.
Thank you, Crisper.
Yeah, so the showing these children, our firstborn is Alvin, a boy. Our secondborn is Alisa, a girl, and our lastborn is Aline, a girl. So those kids, they are gifted differently, and every child is different. So the environment that we create for them helps them to begin identifying themselves, but also our role is to help them identify those areas where they are good. So we have a chest of toys that we invested in. We invested in so many toys, so many, we have so many. So when you put them there and you see which color is the child interested in, you're able to tell the color, and then you see how they assort their toys, you see how they arrange them, how they dismember them. You're able to say this person is interested in this color because of some reasons. And that comes every time you identify them. You let them play, but also you're helping them to know. Then you ask them, what color is that? They stumble on a color, they either don't know its name, but you see they already have a preference on what they want. So you begin now knowing their colors. Now you know why do they like cars versus balls. Now, why do they like gadgets versus other teddy bears or other things? So you begin, like our firstborn Alvin is interested in gadgets. Anything, because he is hands-on. He likes to fix things. He likes to help everyone be comfortable. And that is who he is. He's so outgoing. He wants to speak with everyone, make everyone comfortable. The secondborn is different. Now, the boy who likes assembling things is not that organized. He will put them together, assemble them, do this, break them and kick them and go. But this one will pick her colors, the girl, in what she wants, and then arrange them and keep them neat as they are. So you get to know this person has a perfectionist tendency. Even when you go to her room, even when you go to her bed, you know you have reached her bed. Why? Because you see how she arranges her things. So with that, you begin identifying the uniqueness of these kids. Now you get to know, since this child is interested in assembling things, he's hands-on, let me introduce him to things that are going to help him exercise his abilities. So now when you're buying, we started now getting robots, getting the things, broken things, and he fixes them. Actually, if it is a machine that is, he will first break it, he will play with it 2-3 days, then he will dismantle it, and then he will try to fix it. So you see, his mind is more into problem solving, into fixing things that are broken, into making sure that things get another life or they begin functioning again. So that is his mind. Now this one is into arranging. When he finds the toys are all thrown everywhere, she will arrange them, put them in order either in one area, because that is her strength and her gifting. So once as a parent you identify that, then now you begin creating like areas where they can thrive in their gifting, where they can ably express themselves. Now as a parent, your role is, how do I support them? Now like I said, the boy wants to go to people, but the girl will be comfortable remaining alone in her room. That girl, she likes reading. The boy, you will give him a book, however good it is, just go through and throw it there. But the girl, she will not sleep if she has not finished that book. You have to say, draw it from her, let her sleep, because that is her natural gifting. And now we begin buying books that she likes. She says, I like these stories. You buy books in that area. So as a parent, as a nurturer, one, you are a steward. You have to know that you are a steward. You have to see how you're going to help this child nurture her gift, walk in her area. But as parents, we must be very intentional. Intentional, because if you don't become intentional, one, you must be present. You don't do that if you're not present. You don't do that if you're not intentional. So as a parent, you have a role of a steward, of nurturing, because these children, God, the Bible says that children are a gift. When we look at a gift, the gift has been handed over to you. It is not yours until when it has been given to you. That's when you say, this is mine. But before, it is from there is a giver, and for you are a recipient. So children are a gift. God gave them to us. Now we have a duty to steward them. At the end of it, we will hand over those to the one who gave them to us. How have you impacted them? Because you are a steward. So now, knowing that I have a role of a steward is, how do I nurture? How do I tender? How do I train? How do I equip? How do I direct? That's the role of a parent. And so, me and my wife, our intention is that we steward God-fearing and responsible children who are going to be responsible citizens tomorrow. And we train them in the ways of the Lord. We teach them the Bible. They see us serve. We serve with them. So every time we are going for ministry, we don't let them sleeping. They need to wake up. Let's prepare and go to church. When we are going to church, I preach. So when I am preaching, sometimes I have to call my children to come and either go through my slides. Even before I preach, like my son already knows, but you are supposed to follow this with the other. He's picking an interest. He's helping me prepare. He is learning how to prepare a sermon. He's learning how to put things together. He's picking one or two things because also he likes computers and what. So it is very easy and natural for him. The girl might not be interested in what you're preparing. She will see it when you're presenting it. But the boy is interested in how every piece is joined together. Ask, you have this illustration, what does it mean? So those are the things that as parents we must be intentional in nurturing these things in our children. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much, Arthur. There is something that you actually talked about that triggered a question in my mind. You talked about when you, as a parent, you must be present, you must be intentional, you must be there. And we are in a season that is quite very busy. These are really parents who are ever really doing this at work, where a country, whatever. It's really a lot. It's really a busy world. What's your advice really to the parents? Even amidst, well, they must work because their family has to really get whatever they want. What's your advice that amidst the busyness they have, but they're still able to have time with their children and really help in identifying and nurturing their gifts and talents?
So one, as a parent, you need to know where do you want your children to be. I know every parent wants their child to be great. That's just like at the back of their mind. But what are you doing about it? One, me and my wife, one of the things we said, we are going to make sure that our children, we do everything with them. So when we are going to cook, they don't remain doing their own things. We are all cooking, we are learning. When we are going maybe to do sweeping, we are all participate. Everyone is participating. Second, we said there is an option of using school vans, of using shuttles, but we said we are going to take our children to school. Whether I am late or not, this is my child, it's my responsibility. Let me take them to school. As we are going to school, we are learning a few things. We are going to do everything together. When we are going to ministry, we go with them. If it is a mission going outside, we go with them. Why? Because we want to be near them. We want them to learn 2 or 3 things on what we are doing. They see us serve, they learn service. They see us pray, they learn praying. They see us love people, they love loving. So you need to, as a parent, you need to be very intentional on saying, I am not going to hand over this child to another person. I am not going to let it be my duty and responsibility. Of course, I know there are parents who are hard up, but there is where you have to make a choice, either to invest in these children or acquire things for them, and by the time you bring them, they are not there. So it is a very clerical call that we have to be alert to, but also ask God to give us wisdom. James 1:5 says that, do you lack wisdom? Ask the one who gives liberally to give you wisdom. If you see it as a duty, if you see it as a responsibility handed to you by God, ask him to give you wisdom. We can be so busy, but can you create some time? Can you make a choice and say, I am going to be there for these kids. I'm going to ensure that they do 1 or 2 things themselves and they learn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Arthur. I know, Crisper, you've been quiet for a while now, but after break, I'll start from you. Dear viewer, let's take a very short break. Don't change that station. We are returning in just a bit. Welcome back from that short break. Thank you very much for keeping it Church of Uganda Family TV. In case you've just joined in, thank you and thank you and thank you very, very much. This is the second half of our show, and do not worry, I know you will really follow through. Today we are discussing unlocking your child's potential, identifying and nurturing your child's gift and talent. And definitely to discuss this great topic is an amazing couple. You've seen them before, the Ayorekires. Before we went for a break, Arthur had finished sharing about, you know, how you can be able still to have time with your children amidst this busy world, there is no excuse. We can always do activities together. We can sweep together. We can wash together. We can do everything together. And then, Crisper, definitely, I'll take it up from you to share your mind on that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Claire, and thank you, my husband, for that sharing. You asked him before, the question was, amidst this busy world, how are these parents supposed to do all this? I know all parents would love to be with their parents, but we are all running up and about because of the economy. I understand that very well. And so it might not be very easy to do that work together with them. But then a question is, how are you able to understand someone if you cannot create time with them? How are you able to even keep that family, even that marriage, when you do not even have time with your husband or with your family? I'm just taking it on from that angle. So all of us need that time, and even the children need that time to be able to understand them. So if we can, as we are busy chasing deals and trying to put things together, can we look out for a particular day? If it is just for a day out for the family, you just bring in these other children. You make sure they are around you. Can you try to make sure, instead of watching a movie alone because you're tired, ask these little children to be around you and they watch with you. Maybe they will pick one thing or two because they are watching with you. That is how you're going to be able to identify something in that child, identify a behavior that is not good, to identify their interests because you are there with them and you're able to support them in that area. So as you're watching, maybe in that movie, you'll see a child who's going to shout maybe because of what you're watching, and maybe you'll be able to understand this child maybe loves music, and then you support the child in that music. Maybe they are feeling so sorry in the charity, something that you've been watching, and then you know that these are service people. So at the end of it all, we need some little time with these children to be able to nurture them or to understand them. Otherwise, we are going to pay school fees because we want them to be doctors. We are doctors because we want them to be in sports because we are that. And at the end of it all, they will graduate, come back and say, this is what you sent us to do, and they're able to chase something which is an inner gift, which is a gift on the inside of them. I will take it back. I was nurtured into so many things, which I appreciate very well, but I got to understand that I had this gift and the love, maybe the talent with the children and then the skills, but I got to know it much more late because I first studied a certain degree. Then after some good years, I discovered there are those things that were naturally coming within me. There are things I do, yet I never went to school. I never trained in those skills. I never did any study concerning that, but I do them very well. So I would look back and I say, if those things were identified much earlier, and maybe I was supported in that, and maybe I was encouraged in that, I would be doing so great in that area. So we all need to be intentional, just like he said, and we need to be very keen to watch these kids, and yet we don't need to compare them. Yeah,
I like that, and that's a strong point, but I'll get back to you later. But then I'll pick it up from you. I know a viewer out there would be really wondering, we are talking about gift, we are talking about talent. Yeah. Would you really please help us differentiate between a gift and a talent?
Okay, thank you, Claire. A talent and a gift, they seem to be the same. And we sometimes use them interchangeably. But if you go very critical in analyzing each of them, a talent is more of outward expressive, and a gift is that is inside that you give to the world. So when a person is an athlete, we don't say that they have a gift of running, so they have a talent. So you see, when you begin, when a person is the talents, they seem to be of hardware, if I would say, the physical things that you do, but they are from inside out. So if a person is an athlete, they need to be helped in nurturing that talent. But gifts are from God. Talents are also from God, but gifts, it's Romans 12:6 that says that we have gifts, and everyone that has a gift, let them use it for the benefit of the church. So gifts like service, most of the gifts, they are not actually yours. You can develop your talent for your own economic benefit, but most of the gifts, they are for helping others. That's why the Bible is very categorical on the gifts. If you read down, they show the gifts of prophecy, the gift of service, the gift of speaking in tongues. So you see, those, they seem to be from God, given to you for service of others. And they also need nurturing. So how you nurture a talent is through practice, through discipline. The gift is more of discipleship, more of mentorship, more of steward, being shown how to do a thing. It is inside, they are just showing you on how to nurture it. And that also, they have a lot to do with character. Both of them, they need to build the software of character. If you find a talented man who has no manners, their talent is not taking them anywhere. If it is a gifted man who has no character, they're not going anywhere. There will be a prophet who is abusing their gift because they lack character. So in each of these, as a parent, I have seen my child, I need to disciple them because I see the way they are serving others. That's a software in them that I need to now begin helping them steward that to greatness. I need to build their character. Please, when you're serving people, like in Bagana, say you kneel. Where I come from, you bow a bit and show respect. So in your service, you're building character and traits on how you can give that to the rest of the world. So those are the clear distinctions that are there between a talent and a gift. Like I said, both of them come from God. I think it is James that says that every good and perfect gift comes from God, the Father of lights, in whom there is no shadow of turning or variableness. So you see, they are from God. Every good gift comes from God. So gifts and talents, they come from God, but the talents are more of what you do to the world, more of the physical, more of your energy. Now you need to train it to come out, to grow. The other one is you need to nurture it, you need to tender it, you need to decide to be discipled into it, to grow into it until now it is able to serve others. So those are the distinctions that are there between those two. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Alex. Arthur.
Yes.
And really, I appreciate that you've really brought it up very well.
Thank you.
And I've seen some people really asking for money when they offer their service, their gifts. So. Yeah. But then also, I will ask us this other question. I think you hinted on it, Crisper. Some parents, you find, they want their children to be what they are. For example, I'm a doctor, you have to be a doctor. You actually talked about it. I'm a doctor, you have to be a doctor. I'm a teacher, you have to be a teacher. I'm this, you have to be this. And then children want to be what really they feel in the inside of them. They love football, they love this, they love this. But then, in the eyes of parents, you're disrespecting me, you're disobeying me, and I'm your father, I brought you to the world. Such exchanges, and you find it brings conflict and clash between a father and really a child, or a mother and a child. What's your take on that, and what's your advice? Maybe you can go first, we can go first.
Okay, do I go first?
I think I'm a culprit of something like that. Yeah, I would think we need to give the children opportunity to do what they want, as long as it gives God all the glory and honor. Because it's them that will benefit from that. When you have a doctor who has been forced into being a doctor, those are the ones that are actually misusing the they are not, are they called ethics? They're not practicing the ethics of the profession they are practicing, because it is not part of them. They are actually forcing life. They are pulling strings because it is not part of them. And they can never bless anyone when they don't feel they are doing something they love most. Yeah, and I would say, like we are talking about our children, one of them, we wanted her to be in sports, for the reasons that are well known in the family. But she's not part of that. But we want her to be there. So I think last week we sat and were like, anyway, I think it's becoming too much, because she's now taking it in a negative way. She's saying, you're being so tough on me. You think I am so lazy. And then we want to rub that out of her mind, not growing up and saying, my parents don't trust me. They think I'm too lazy, I can't do anything. Why? Because we wanted her to exercise her body, and that's not part of it. And so how are we doing it? I think this holiday God gave me the grace that we tried to, I sat with her and asked her, what can she do? And she still doesn't know exactly what she should do to exercise her body. So she asked me to play with her a particular game. And we played that game, and she was so excited. And then she said, oh, you see, I am not that what you said. I am not lazy, I'm actually good. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't know that she was taking it in that way. So I think we need to sit with them, ask them, why do they want to do the other one compared to this? What are their reasons? Are they struggling? Can we help them to be better? Or simply they feel life things cannot really, they can't do anything beyond what we're telling them to do. And then we come to a mutual understanding and help these children to be better.
Wow. Thank you very much.
That point, I think, literally all parents, especially our parents, the other generation now, where they are now, we have the Gen Zs, Gen X, the millennial, the what. There is what we call vicarious living. At law, there is what we call vicarious liability. When you are an employee of Family TV and you knock someone on the road, when you are in the course of your duty, your employer is liable. So we call it vicarious liability. So now there is also vicarious living, where you want to live in the life of your child. And that's a very dangerous, and it is happening everywhere. We do it sometimes unintentionally, but if we become careful to allow these children to showcase their latent power, you will, and since you wish good for them, you allow them live their own life. People are now doctors, are lawyers, accountants, those what we call professionals, because their parents led them to those areas, not because it was their choice. Parents, of course, I know they have a role to play in leading them. There are parents who say, they look at you and say, like at where my parents, my father is very interested in me becoming clergy. Where because he has seen that in me. He has 8 children. He does not say that to any other child. Maybe he has seen something unique in me that he wants to steward to that area. There's a time when he led me to the bishop to say, please, this son, he needs to go and be a reverend. Wow. He took me to UCU saying, you're going to study law, but I want you, as you study law, see something else. Especially, they teach theologians there. Yeah. See if you can. So there is when a parent sees a natural a gifting in a child and they want to help. Maybe the child is not seeing it. There is also that. But most of the parents, they are vicariously living in their children, which is not good. So as a parent, see the unique traits of your child. Help them live that life. Help guide them. Sometimes the kids, they don't see where you're taking them. Show them why you're emphasizing that they should do this, because you have seen them. You have a record of what they have been into. When you were young, like our last born, She's so talented. She likes running. She likes being everywhere. She smiles. She laughs. Even when she was still in the womb, we called her worshiper. Because every time I sometimes play the guitar, every time I would be playing the guitar, she would be kicking in the stomach. And the mom would say, guys, you need to let me sleep. Because I was playing the guitar and she was also dancing. So you see, as a child, she's even showing it now. Because she likes dancing, she likes singing, she likes running. Because you could tell from childhood. So it's our duty to now help her live that life. Help her to learn instruments, maybe because she likes them. When I'm playing, she wants to come and hold the strings with me because that is what she likes. The other one, whether you're playing or not, say, that's a good tune, okay. She does not care. But this one, she wants to be there with you in the moment. So you come to appreciate she likes that. So you begin now teaching her how things are going. Not because I want her to sing because I know how to, or something like that, but you begin seeing those identifiers, and then you help the child move in that line. No wonder the Bible says that train up a child in a way, because when he or she will grow, she will not depart from it, especially in the ways of the Lord. We need to train these children in the ways of the Lord. Amen. But using their natural giftings. Because each one of them, God has downloaded a software of their unique talent, unique gifting. It's our duty to draw it out. Thank you.
I just appreciate that. And really, I will also bring out this, which is a little bit connected to what you've just finished. Sometimes you mentioned that really our children are gifted and talented differently and uniquely. Yes. But you know, as parents, we tend to find ourselves comparing our children. This one can do this, can do the other. Why is it that you don't do this like your elder sister? Why is it? Really, what's your mind on that? And how can you really advise parents to actually take their children the way they are, because all those gifts come from God and they're different and unique, like you just mentioned. Okay,
maybe my wife will
continue with it.
Sorry?
Just continue with it.
Okay, so one of the pitfalls of parenting is comparison. One, we want to compare kids, kid A with kid B, firstborn with a secondborn, and then we even begin competing, allowing them to compete, which is, then we also want to compete them with the children of our brothers, children of our sisters, children of our neighbors. It is totally wrong. And that competition is not healthy. It kills the natural instincts of the child. And as a parent, you need to avoid. Of course, the temptation is there. Say, don't you see how your brother is doing it? We are tempted, but you should always restrain yourself. The other pitfall that is very common is that what we talked about, vicarious living. The other one is now you see something outside. Because you have seen it, you want your child to come and live it. Not knowing that your child are not that.
Definitely.
So as parents, we need to restrain our egos. We need to restrain our temptations. We need to restrain. Their parents also said, I grew up not doing this. My children have to get this. All those are wrong. We are trying just to vicariously live in our children. We don't allow them to live their own life. And see, we are killing their natural abilities. We are killing what God gave them. Because each one of them is unique. Even when they are twins, you find they are very unique one from the other. So as parents, we need to avoid those temptations. Like I said earlier, ask God to give you wisdom. If you feel the temptation is so great, invest in learning how to parent. We have kids that are actually very competitive. Sibling rivalry that is there. Ask God to give you wisdom. Seek help. Don't be a star in this movie. Try as much as you can to steward what has been given to you, because God is going to keep you accountable. He's going to hold you accountable. And so you need to do it with that intention, with that mindset that I am nurturing God's creation towards a potential and a destiny, because each one of them has a purpose, unique purpose, and they need to be stewarded in that. They need to be shown that road, everything that they need to understand who they are. As parents, it's important that we sit down and profile these kids and know that my child struggles with speaking with people. So begin exposing them. Expose them to those areas. Expose them where they are forced to speak. Put them in places of testing them. Because the ship is built on the land, but it has to be tested on the water. This child needs to be taken in areas where their abilities are going to be put to a test. That's how they are going to grow. So we have a role to play. As parents, God has given us a mandate. We must steward it.
Thank you very, very much. Give us your parting shots, because our time is already spent and we close the show.
Okay. Thank you very much, Claire. I would encourage all our viewers, all our parents, to be able to have some time, be intentional, to have time with their children, identify those gifts in them, invest in them, encourage them, nurture them, and do not compare them with anyone, because like every child is a blessing from God, they have unique blessings from the Lord. And don't compare them, because if you compare them, they will despise even the gift that is on the inside of them, and you will have just killed them. Let's nurture all the generation for the glory of the Lord. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, Crisper.
We have been given work, responsibility to nurture these children. God gave us a gift. We needed to steward it well. And we needed to be very intentional in doing this, knowing that I am nurturing someone's husband. I am nurturing someone's wife. If you have that at the back of your mind, you will do this fearing. We will do this with all the dignity and all the responsibility that you have. Like someone nurtured my wife for me. Someone nurtured me for her. We need to begin doing this for these kids, so that tomorrow they will be responsible citizens, and they are the ones to carry this away, because they are also going to be parents tomorrow. They need to be shown how they are going to parent their children. We are stewards. May God richly bless you.
Thank you very much. It's been really a good time having you on the show, and may the Lord bless you and your family.
Happy birthday once again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
To you, our dear viewer, thank you very much for loving the Family Hour under the theme of parenting, and thank you very much for loving me, the world's favorite host. In case you are watching and you felt the Spirit of the Lord touch you, and maybe you want to give your life to Christ, please, we are here. You can always connect to us, and we pray with you. The Lord bless you and keep you. I will see you again next Friday, same time, same place. I love you, and it's my birthday. You can choose to take me out. God bless you. Good night.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.